Let's go ahead and move on.
At the Supreme Court, Plessy, through his lawyers, argued that the Separate Car Act violated both the 13th and 14th Amendments. Reminder that the 13th Amendment abolished slavery and the badges and incidents of slavery, and the 14th Amendment guaranteed equal protection under the laws. And the Supreme Court, to his arguments, was like, no. They rejected Plessy's argument that separate accommodations were an incident or badge of slavery, saying that a statute which implies merely a legal distinction between the white and colored races has no tendency to destroy the legal equality of the two races or reestablish a state of involuntary servitude. They just fully rejected the 13th Amendment argument in a couple paragraphs and then devoted the rest of the opinion, which was a 7-to-1 split with one justice abstaining, to the 14th Amendment argument. And the crux of their reasoning revolved around the idea that just because things are separate doesn't mean one race is inferior to the other. The opinion says the 14th Amendment could not have been intended to abolish distinctions based upon color or to enforce social, as distinguished from political, equality, or a commingling of the two races upon terms unsatisfactory to either. Laws permitting and even requiring their separation in places where they are liable to be brought into contact do not necessarily imply the inferiority of either race to the other and have been generally, if not universally, recognized within the competency of the state legislatures in the exercise of their police power. So basically they say there's no way the 14th Amendment can be construed as requiring the enforcement of social equality. That's absurd. And in any event, the state should do that. They also briefly allude to the Due Process Clause, remember the right to due process of the law before your life, liberty, or property is taken away. Plessy's lawyer argued that being denied entry to the white car deprived Plessy of property, that is, the ability to travel in that car. And the Supreme Court was like, okay, even if it was considered property, that's not true. The white man could sue if he was denied entry into the white car because of deprivation of property, but the black man couldn't sue for not being allowed into the white car because he has been deprived of no property since he is not lawfully entitled to the reputation of being a white man. Plessy's lawyer also argued that if this law were to stand, the same argument could then support separating people based on hair color or nationality, or requiring black people to paint their house one color and white people to paint their house another color, and any other absurd laws. And the Supreme Court was like, you silly man. The states still have to be reasonable in their laws and can only enact laws in good faith for the promotion of the public good and not for the oppression of a particular class. Like, there was just a complete lack of understanding or just willful blindness, perhaps, on the part of the Supreme Court to acknowledge that segregation laws were literally meant to oppress one class to the benefit of the other. Nor was there any acknowledgement that the actual train cars or other segregated spaces for black people were also inferior in quality to those for white people. I don't know if the court was just overlooking that or if that wasn't raised in the party's arguments. I have a hard time believing that it was just not raised at all by Plessy's lawyers.
Real quick, and I'm gonna make this real quick, Marlon. That what she just did in the last 2 minutes, and respectfully, Anna, you kind of hit on the same kind of sentiment a moment ago. That is one of the things that irks me so much when we talk about these topics, because you're giving the benefit of doubt to people that don't deserve it. Like, it's almost like you're fighting to find a rational reason for what you're encountering. And the only rationality is that they hate you. Like, we're trying to find anything but that, right? Because she's like, I don't know if they just weren't willing to acknowledge it, or no, you know what the hell was going on. You know.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. That literally was the first thing that popped in my head when we was gonna come back. Was you know how I always say, people are doing wrong when they try to hide. They know they're in the wrong when they try to hide it amongst a lot of other crap. So when people always come and say, "Oh, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong," then why did you lie about it? Why did you hide it? Why did you gaslight? Why did you do everything in your power to make sure that this didn't come? These people talking on here, your stuff is bull crap. You don't like black people. I'd rather you literally just said that, but you can't really say that. So you
but
come they can't.
At that time, they could say it. The thing is, you're beneath. I'm just going at a mentality here, folks. You are beneath me. So I do not have to tell you the truth. I can tell you anything and you need to accept it because my position of authority is what it is. If I tell you that I don't think that you need to be there because you're just not supposed to be there, that needs to be good enough for you. You don't need to hear from me that I don't think you need to be there because you're black. You don't deserve that. You're not worth that explanation. You get no. And that's
okay. See, I gotta push back on it there. So, cause then what's with all this word vomit? What
because it needs to be shrouded.
Wordings and everything else when you could just flat out just say, "Hey, you're beneath me. I ain't got to give you an answer to any of this. It's no." But
the reason why
throwing out this whole no, because it's white man and the coloring of houses and bro, come on.